We have no way of knowing what lays ahead for us in the future. All we can do is use the information at hand to make the best decision possible. You know, I don't even remember the last time I had a Corona beer. I've been preferring Avery Brewing beer, the Pilsners from them. Hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad. In all seriousness though, let's talk about the coronavirus. Not the Corona beer virus, as some people had searched on Google several months ago, but a serious issue that needs to be taken into account. And this is going to be a quick video more on the idea of training through races that might have been canceled for you. And I know, with athletes that we've coached at Sage Running, as well as people gearing up for these big spring races, be it a road race, road marathon, trail race, cancellations are happening. Travel bans are in effect. Travel restrictions, I should say. Self-quarantine, things like that. And it's hard. It's hard as a runner and athlete. This is just a small microcosm of regular everyday life where people are really struggling, So it's kind of a luxury type of problem to have. Oh, I can't, travel. But it sucks. It sucks. I was supposed to do a race in April. I pulled out of it a long time ago. And, I wanted to travel a lot this year. I'm an international travel fiend. It's bad for the environment, though. It's bad for the environment, and it's bad in terms of spreading things like this disease to people, especially who are at risk, who have compromised immune systems, the elderly. It's a big problem. We're trying to nip it in the bud. And that's why it's so important that I think, you shouldn't necessarily go to big public gatherings and go to these races, and it's a responsibility that the whole world, the burden of the whole world is having to share now. And so yeah, it sucks if your race is canceled. You've been training hard for it, you've been dreaming about it. Think of some of the athletes that have qualified for the Olympics. Don't know the status on the Olympics yet. I'm not going to say anything on that, but it's happened before where you finally get into this race, you've been training for this big event or race, you've got the travel booked, and then all of a sudden it gets canceled. And you've put in all this hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. And it's tough. But know that I think as a coach, you should keep training. Don't just give up. It's easy to get discouraged if your race is canceled, but just keep training through it like it isn't canceled. Maybe don't taper for it though. It's hard to have a backup plan at this day and age, but realize that the training you do now, the hard training you're doing, the process is gonna make you stronger in the future, right? It's not like this training is all for waste, right? Think of it, it's going to help you next year. It's going to help you for years from now. You're laying an aerobic base and foundation. You're going through the motions. You're getting your body strong for the future. Plus, running's just a healthy thing to do, right? Get out, get some fresh air, try to avoid people that are sick. And, you run for health. You run for the pure joy of it. You run for, to feel good. It's not necessarily just for this race or just to, complete this. But I know, coming from a racer perspective, how much it sucks. And I trained really hard. My first year out of college, I was at Hanson's Brooks marathon program. I trained super hard. I probably overtrained for a whole year, and I raced very poorly. And I was really frustrated because I was putting in these big training weeks, 140 miles a week. 230 kilometers a week. And I'd race like crap. I'd run slower than I did in college, and I actually regressed a couple steps. But the next year after that was when I set my PRs, and I was even stronger than ever. And I think back that it was a year-long process or multi-year process where I developed this strength and this resistance and tolerance to training really hard, and I was able to capitalize on that way in the future. So right now, it's discouraging. You put in all this hard work, you're training. It doesn't all go to waste just because your race was canceled and you're not doing the race. You could actually be more patient with your training, pull the reins back a bit, but keep going through the process, because the fitness isn't going to disappear overnight, right? Plus, it's just a good thing to do anyway if you truly enjoy the sport of running. But with the travel restrictions and events being canceled, it's probably a good idea. The spread, we want to try to eliminate big exponential spikes of contamination with the coronavirus, COVID-19 officially. And, large public gatherings like race expos or, music concerts, indoor venues, sports events, basketball games, things like that, obviously could lead to an exponential spike. If we look back at the other pandemics, I believe 1918 flu, we see that historically when you have large public gatherings, it causes an exponential spike. We want to try to nip that in the bud. people are going to still get infected. People are going to get sick. Hopefully things will die down as the warmer temperatures in summer comes in the northern hemisphere. But it's definitely a serious issue. And wash your hands. Wash your hands a lot. Try to cover your mouth. Save some toilet paper at the store for me. Boulderites, I'm talking to you. Shortage of toilet paper here in the U.S. at a lot of stores. It's crazy, but realize that for people less fortunate, people that don't have the means to healthcare or good healthcare, people that are in environments that could get contaminated more easily, or they have other pre-existing health problems, this is a very serious threat that could be deadly. It could lead to complications with breathing and pneumonia. And so, it's something that we don't want to have spread exponentially, right? We want to try to even that thing out, not have it go everywhere for everyone. And so that's kind of the idea behind, I think, not traveling as much, not going to these big public events. And it's hard because we're social creatures. I like going to, big expos and meeting you guys at events and races, and I like traveling around the world, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm not doing as many plane flights this year so far, and that's okay. That's probably better. That's better for the environment for sure. I've been actually feeling guilty about all the long plane flights I take, any plane flight, because it pollutes a lot. So, with the travel restrictions in place, I'm not going to fly as much this year already, and it's cleaned up the air. It's reduced my carbon footprint. It's helped clean up the air. So, that's a positive. That's a good thing. We got to realize that setbacks occur, be it injury or illness, things like this virus, things out of our control occur. And we have to evolve. We have to adapt. We have to problem solve. It's like running the microcosm of life in running, or running is a microcosm of life, and within a distance race, you have these problems and setbacks, and you have to go throughout your race and try to overcome them. Persevere, right? It's the same thing now on this global scale with this pandemic. It's about problem solving, using the information at hand to make smart decisions, healthy decisions hopefully, that not only help you stay healthy, but also help others stay healthy. Because we're all in this together. We're all on the same team here. So it's an important issue, and we'll see how things progress. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say with this video. Sorry if your race was canceled. Keep in mind though, it's for the greater good, and the process of training should be the reward as well. We love that icing on the cake. We love setting a personal best or competing in a certain race and the experience of that. But you have to enjoy your daily training when you're out there, maybe by yourself in the dark, and realize that hopefully that'll help your health and fitness as well, make you stronger for the future. So here's to moving forward, stronger in the future. Thanks again for all your support on here. Stay tuned for more training videos. I got some tutorials coming out, as well as informative training talks, stuff I eat, skimo gear setup, things like that. Thank you for subscribing on here. It really helps me out a lot, as well as the Patreon supporters. Check out our training plans at sagerunning.com. Coach Sandy and I sell training plans for any surface, any distance. And again, yeah, hope you stay healthy. Stay tuned for more.